So I had a really cool idea for a thing to do with reading that I really wanted to do, and I don't really know what to call it because it's not a readathon and it's not really a book club because it's only going to happen once probably. I don't know that it'll even happen once, let alone ever have the chance of happening again. But it's kind of more like a read along rather than a readathon or a book club. And when I explain it, you will understand why, hopefully. Oh my gosh, I really don't know how to explain this. Life is tough. I'm struggling. So this kind of idea actually occurred to me last year, and I did try and do it with just a couple of friends, but it didn't quite work. And I kind of want to try it again, and I think that if I do it on a bigger scale with more people, it might be more likely to work. And the idea kind of goes like this. Anyone who is interested in reading along with me, which hopefully there's at least one person, we're gonna read the same book, and there's gonna be like a series of things that you do when you've read through a certain amount of the book. So it's kind of like a competition because it's like the person who reaches 500 pages, well, 500 pages is a lot of pages. The person who reaches like, you know, 2 chapters first will post like something on Twitter so everyone else knows that that person has now reached that particular point in the book, and they'll be like more motivated to catch up. Fairy lights. Woo! I don't know if I explained that very well, but I'm just gonna like tell you some of the prompty things that are gonna like happen so that you get an idea of like the kinds of things that are gonna be happening if you want to get involved in this. So it'll be things like when you reach 2 chapters, post a gif of how you feel about the book on Twitter or Instagram. I don't really care. Share your favorite quote when you reach 4 chapters. When you reach 5 chapters, pick a literary best friend for the main character in the book from like another book. Or like when you reach 7 chapters, post a song that reminds you of the book. You get the idea. Like they're just fun little prompty things that you do when you hit a certain point throughout the book that you will post on Instagram or Twitter to be like, hey everyone else who's reading the book, this is my way of telling you that I'm now 4 chapters in. How many chapters in are you? Oh, you're only at 2 chapters. Catch up, bitch. Or something like that, but in the friendliest possible way. So if you're interested in joining in on this read along, comment down below letting me know that you're interested, and I'll like make a proper blog post with all the information and what the prompts are so that anyone who's interested can access what they need to join in if they want to. But the only thing that remains to do for anyone who is interested in reading along with me is to choose a book to read along for the read along. I don't even know what to call it. Let's call it a novel read along. I don't know. Fucking hell. Anyway, I'm gonna share a few books that I am interested in maybe reading, and if you are interested in doing this read along with me, then you can vote. I'm gonna maybe put a poll up here on the video maybe, or if you don't know how that works because technology is like a mystery to you, which is totally understandable, then you can comment down below instead. That's fine. So option number 1 is Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. It's quite a long book, so I feel like there might be more people out there like me who are like, haven't really read it but am interested in reading it but haven't done it because it's a lengthy book and it needs time. So this might be your chance to get in on it. I'll read the blurb really quickly for you in case you don't know anything about it. The dream chooses the dreamer, not the other way around, and Laszlo Strange, war orphan and junior librarian, has always feared that his dream chose poorly. Since he was 5 years old, he's been obsessed with the mythic lost city of Weep, but it would take someone bolder than he to cross half the world in search of it. Then a stunning opportunity presents itself in the person of a hero called the Godslayer and a band of legendary warriors, and he has to seize his chance or lose his dream forever. It sounds really cool, right? So it's a really interesting concept for a world, or for a fantasy world, and I'm really curious to read it. So that's option number 1. Option number 2 is A Darker Shade of Magic, which is another book that I haven't read yet that I feel like I should. I don't know anything about A Darker Shade of Magic, except that it's set in like fantasy London. So according to Goodreads, which I'm gonna hold over here, it says Kel is one of the last Antari, magicians with a rare coveted ability to travel between Londons, red, grey, white, and once upon a time black. Kel was raised in Arns, Red London, and officially serves the Moresh Empire as an ambassador travelling between the frequent bloody regime changes in White London and the court of George III in the dullest of Londons, the one without any magic left to see. Oh, I'm guessing that's our London. Unofficially, Kel is a smuggler servicing people willing to pay for even the smallest glimpse of a world they'll never see. After an exchange goes awry, Kel escapes to Grey London and runs into Delilah Bard, a cut-purse with lofty aspirations. She first robs him, then saves him from a deadly enemy, and finally forces Kel to spirit her to another world for a proper adventure. That sounds really interesting. I actually had no idea what that book was about. I just knew that a lot of people I know really liked it and that it had something to do with red. If you haven't read it and you're interested in reading it, then like vote for it for the read along. Maybe we can read it together. Wouldn't that be grand? So option number 3 is Peter Pan. Weird choice, I know, but I've never actually read Peter Pan, and I'm really curious to read the book version of Peter Pan to see what is going on in the book version of Peter Pan. I know it's a lot darker and it's a lot more gloomy and just darker, so I'm curious to read it. If that is a book that interests you, then vote for it down below. Do you get the idea of how this works? Yeah. And then my final choice is The Essex Serpent, which is a non-YA book and a non-children's book, so I'm trying to get something of everything in here basically. Alrighty, let us tell you about The Essex Serpent. It says, set in Victorian London and an Essex village in the 1890s and enlivened by the debates on scientific and medical discovery which defined the era, The Essex Serpent has at its heart the story of two extraordinary people who fall for each other but not in the usual way. They are Cora Seaborn and Will Ransom. Cora is a well-to-do London widow who moves to the Essex parish of Aldwinter, and Will is the local vicar. They meet as their village is engulfed by rumours that the mythical Essex Serpent, once said to roam the marshes claiming human lives, has now returned. Cora, a keen amateur naturalist, is enthralled, convinced the beast may be a real undiscovered species. But Will sees his parishioners' agitation as a moral panic and deviation from a true faith. Although they can agree on absolutely nothing, as the seasons turn around them in this quiet corner of England, they find themselves inexorably drawn together and torn apart. It sounds really pretty, and the cover is hella pretty. So now it's up to you. If you are interested in doing a read along with me, then take a little vote in the little poll thing that might be up here in the corner, hopefully, or comment whatever book you're interested in down below, and I'll try and keep track of things, and I'll post a video before the start of the month letting you know what the book is that we've chosen for the readathon, and also I'll post an official breakdown of the things that we're gonna do when we hit certain points in the book, and I'll make like a blog post about it so you can find it whenever you need to and just like bookmark it and have it there, or download it or print it or whatever the hell you need, and we'll be good to go. I feel like this will be a nice way for us to like motivate each other to read, particularly for those people who are slower readers like myself. There's more than enough readathons out there that are like, hey, everybody try and read 7 books in a week, and that can be really difficult for people like me who are actually slower readers and slower paced readers. So I think this will be a fun way for us to get involved and do the same kind of like prompts and challenges and little friendly competitions and encouragement for each other, but just with 1 book instead of 7, and for a month instead of a week. So I really hope you're interested in doing this with me. You know what to do, and I will let you know how this goes if there are people interested. I will see you very shortly for another video, I'm sure. And until then, as always, stay classic.
Sit there and count your fingers.